triple gooberry sunrise.
Triple gooberberry sunrise, sir.
I woke up probably 15 minutes ago.
Triple gooberberry
Grand
sunrise,
Rising.
huh? Well, I guess I could use one of those.
Now you're talking.
Unfortunately, because you don't even be going out cold. I mean, keep it to myself as a practice of my first thought, Third Amendment.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back
If
to
you
Binging
want to
with
be the
Babish. For this week,
Constitution,
we're
like
taking
shit,
a
get
look
your
at the
Bill of
hotly
Rights. No,
requested triple
I'm just a
gooberberry
bill,
sunrise from
just a
SpongeBob
plain
SquarePants.
old
This
bill,
episode is
just a
sponsored by
shitty chin, not
Audible,
even
a
glass.
provider of auditory
Maybe getting
entertainment
punched.
and audiobooks.
Hey.
Which I'm going to aggressively custard. I'm for 30 days. Now let's get down to the business of making sundaes.
Indeed.
First up, we have to make a custard. I'm starting with 1 cup of whole milk, and SpongeBob and Patrick look like they were in kind of an old-timey soda shop, so I'm going to add 15 grams of non-diastatic malt powder, which I'm going to aggressively whisk using a full-size whisk because this stuff likes to clump. Once fully incorporated, I'm going to add 2 cups of heavy cream. Then, just like any ice cream base, this stuff needs a sweetener, but I wanted to try to add at least 1 undersea ingredient, so I'm going to add 15 grams of carrageenan, a red seaweed extract that's commonly used as a thickener, and that's going to make for a smoother, more scoopable ice cream. This stuff also loves to clump, but if we tiny whisk it into our sugar, it's going to get dispersed more evenly and fully dissolve without putting up a fuss. Now the next step is to make sure that both everybody is dissolved and homogeneous, and also bring our mixture up to the barest of simmers.
Like, bro, even look how clean that pot is.
Stir frequently.
It's just
to make sure
different
that
in
the
that
milk doesn't
kitchen.
Scorch, kill the heat once you start seeing the little bubbles, and then it's time to start tempering our eggs. More accurately, 5 large egg yolks that we're going to place in a heat-proof bowl and swaddle with a moistened towel that will allow us to whisk one-handedly as we slowly ladle in the
I've never seen anybody. I've probably seen him do it,
add
but
this in a very, very, very slow
never thought about
stream,
doing
but
some
by
shit
the
like
third
that.
or fourth ladle full, your eggs will be tempered and you can add it faster. All in all, we want to whisk about 1/3 of the hot stuff into the cold stuff before adding the cold stuff back into the hot stuff. Makes sense? Good, because now we're headed back to the stovetop, where over medium-low heat, we're going to bring this mixture up to 185 degrees Fahrenheit, whisking pretty constantly to make sure that nobody's scrambling on the bottom of the pot, and you'll know it's done both when it reaches 185 degrees Fahrenheit and when it reaches a state that the French referred to as nup, which roughly translates to thick enough to coat the back of a spoon and to leave a trail when a finger is dragged across its surface. Actually, I think it literally translates to tablecloth.
oh my goodness, Big Money Jack. Thumbing through it, Jack. Rich homie Jack. What's going on, man? Thank you so much for the 3 gifted.
But whatever. Next
You
up,
are
during their Sunday consumption,
appreciated.
SpongeBob and Patrick appeared to be getting inebriated. So this being our cartoon, we're gonna incorporate a little bit of this brown liquid from this bottle marked XXX.
Much love, bro.
One can
So
only
much
imagine what
love.
this
Yeah,
brown
yeah,
liquid
yeah.
could possibly
Yeah,
be,
that.
But let's just say that it's whiskey. So once
How
killing
you
the
feeling,
heat
bro?
over our custard, we're gonna add about 2 ounces.
I just
of
got up
XXX
15 minutes ago. Now I was like, fuck it,
plus
I'm
the sliced
streaming.
and scraped carcass of 1 vanilla bean. We're doing this while the custard is still hot so that the flavors can better steep. That being said, the faster we cool off our custard, the better. So we're placing a smaller bowl into a larger
Never
bowl
considered
with
this is
salted ice and
what's-
water and pouring the custard
Never
into the smaller
considered
bowl.
this
Basically,
what's
the
more
consistency
beneficial,
cools off, the salt
gifteds
and
or
the ice disperse
donos?
its coldness faster, and the water is going to make sure that the coolness is evenly distributed. We're whisking occasionally
they're
for
both
about 10
beneficial,
minutes until
honestly.
it reaches 72 degrees Fahrenheit, covering with plastic wrap and fridging for at least 4 hours or until fully
Gifted
chilled
might
and
bring
ready to
somebody
churn.
back, you know what I mean?
Churning by
Somebody might have
a
watched the
churning
stream
method
once and
of
pieced
choice,
out.
making sure to remember
They
to
seen that
remove
gifted, they
that
come in
whole
here, chill
pot,
out for a
trying
little bit.
desperately and failing to get
Never
our
know.
lid into place. Come on.
They
there
might
we
wanna
go.
sub next
We're
one.
churning for about 35 minutes or until
Ain't
we get
nothing
the
wrong with a little
consistency
donut, though.
similar to very firm
But I'm grateful
soft
for
serve.
either or.
If you don't have an ice cream machine, go ahead and click the link in the upper right-hand corner right now to see how to make ice cream by hand. However you
Look at
churn it,
this
it's now ready
annotation
to
off the
head into
screen,
the
bro.
freezer. So we're going to scrape out as much of this delicious gunk as we possibly can
Ugh.
into the freezer-safe vessel of your choice. Optionally press some wax paper or plastic wrap directly down onto the surface to prevent freezer burn. Cover it up and freezer it for at least 4 hours, ideally overnight. Plenty of time to contend with the thing that I might be allergic to, so I'm wearing gloves. The festive bananas that we're going to have visibly
How you
jutting out
cook?
from all
How you
the
make
points of
food
the
if you don't know
sundae.
what you're
So
allergic
peeling them,
to?
slicing them in half, and repeatedly skewering them
true.
with toothpicks. This would obviously
W
make them
subscription,
hazardous to eat
indubitably.
at the speed at which SpongeBob and Patrick were eating them,
Jack,
but I'm
you're running shit
positive that
up.
there's no other way that they're going to stay in place. I'm also going to pop these in the freezer for about an hour to increase their rigidity. Then, finally, it's time to assemble our triple gooberberry sunrise. We got ourselves an old school looking blue glass ice cream bowl, into which we are going to deposit 3 very large scoops of ice cream.
That's a
And I
big
gotta
ass
say,
ice
guys,
cream
this
scoop, though.
carrageenan stuff makes for very scoopable ice cream.
Ooh.
The stuff spent over
Those are good
12 hours in the
scoops.
freezer, and it's still super soft. Now I'm just going to place it back into the freezer for 15 to 20 minutes to make sure that there is no extraneous meltage during assembly. First up, our little ice cream buddy appears to have a hot fudge hairdo. So I'm just gonna place a
Goodness.
dollop of cooled fudge on top of the top scoop. Top that with banana.
Got fucking
and
stacks on the
flanked
stream.
banana
Thank you for the
bars. And
5
face appears to be
gifted.
made from green,
They said
blue,
a
and
hype
red
train is close.
candies. So I've got green and blue M&Ms and one red peanut
I
M&M.
know we can do
which
hype
we
trains.
really got to shove in there to make them stay in place. And then an inviting red licorice smile. Then I assume that the triple gooberberry refers to these 3 maraschino cherries delicately skewered on the end of
Hell
each
no, he
banana.
really made
There you
that shit
have
the
it,
right way.
triple gooberberry. Oh, hang on a second. Fix the eye here. A fast disintegrating but mildly intoxicating ice cream sundae. Now to give it a try, I think the most upsetting thing to do would be to take a scoop out of this guy's face. Sorry, little friend. And I'll tell you right now, this is far and away the best homemade ice cream I've ever made. The texture is pretty much commercial quality. It has a nice boozy flavor, but it's not overwhelming thanks to the malt. But in this whole sundae, there's just about a half a shot of bourbon. total. And SpongeBob and Pat ate
Waiter!
like
That's all I
10
can think of
these
seeing
each,
this.
so it kind of makes sense. But if you're trying to cut back on calories, you might just want to pour some XXX liquid directly on top. Ooh, that's somehow even more upsetting, kind of like the ending of Raiders of the Lost Ark. And as an ice cream topping, it's just kind of so-so. Anyway, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna run and grab my EpiPen because I think I'm allergic to bananas. Thanks again to the folks.
So
at
why'd you
Marvel for
eat it? Why didn't you? You have the money to do this, bro. You got the money to go to a doctor's office real quick and see if that should be done. Got the first episode of me better. Bro, be making all of the SpongeBob
Don't
foods.
you get it, you crustaceous cheapskate? I can't make a double Krabby Patty with the work. I can't put a patty on a bun with lettuce, cheese, onions, tomatoes, ketchup, mustard, pickles, and top bun together in that order.
It's time.
It is time. As a thank you to everyone who helped make Binging with Babish my full-time job,
W
it's time to
Gifter.
finally make
W
the all-time
Gifters.
most requested dish on this show, the Krabby Patty. The ingredients of which are
You
laid
get
here
a W.
before you, except
You
of
get a
course,
W.
the secret
You
ingredient.
get a bow.
What is the secret
I
ingredient?
don't know who that
Well,
third
I
person
just
was.
happen to
Somebody
have
got a
some
mean-ass
right
fucking
here. That's
thing.
right. I've finally cracked the code.
potentially
After a
ashy
year of
elbow.
research, I've come to the conclusion that the secret ingredient is a heaping tablespoon of nothing. That might seem anticlimactic, but it actually makes a lot of sense. Mr. Krabs is a shrewd businessman, and it makes sense that rather than buying expensive
Call his
secret
ass
ingredients, he
shrewd.
would create a burger that is its own guerrilla marketing campaign. That being said, several sources cite the secret ingredient as being a pinch of King Neptune's Poseidon powder, which I think is monosodium glutamate, or MSG. So we're going to start by seasoning a store-bought frozen beef patty with salt, pepper, and MSG. Now, some people are saying that it's a crab burger, but Mr. Krabs is a crab. That's pretty horrible and barbaric, even for Nickelodeon. So once thawed, we're going to prepare our burger much as we would any other burger.
Mr.
Vegetable
Krabs
oil,
probably
high
did
heat,
that
cast
shit.
iron. Then we're going to follow SpongeBob's exact order of assembly, which starts with lettuce on top of the burger, which is a terrible idea. Never do this. I'm doing this for science. Then we're going single slice of yellow American, single slice of Vidalia onion, tomato, ketchup, mustard, and the absolute most important part, do not forget the pickles. You don't want Bubble Bass doing that god-awful laugh of his. Top bun, and there you have it.
What? Onyx with the 5 gifted. Oh my goodness. So that means we hit the sub goal, right? Did we?
37,
Oh
38.
my goodness. Onyx, thank you so much for the gifted, bro. Thank you so much. I need Man. So see what I started?
Patty,
What led the way.
kind of
That's a 5-piece. Thank you for the 5. Thank you for the big 5.
looks like
We
that on
hype
the
as
training
fuck.
video, right? Normal fast food
Hype
burger
as
protocol
shit.
would be to just dig in, but I haven't been able to do a cross section of this show in a while. That's a big relief for me. Now, as expected, this was a totally
I was just reading it.
delicious burger. MSG makes things taste better.
38.
And while it's perfectly
Do,
safe,
do,
I
do,
understand if
do,
people
do.
have
Big hype
reservations
train.
about eating it. Now, if
Big
you
hype
want
train.
the natural
The hypest
umami
train.
content of your burger, here's a few ways to do it. The first stop is to make a seasoning out of some natural umami bombs. We're going
38.
to start with a
Do,
bit of
do,
bonito flake, which is a shaved dried
Never had a hype
mushroom,
train in
dried
here.
shiitake mushrooms, some dried kombu, which is a sort
Onyx
of
is
sea
gifted
kelp, so this seems
42.
even more
Onyx
accurate,
bands, bro.
provided
I'm telling you,
really
why would we
realistically,
call
that's
them
what
that for
Mr.
no
Krabs'
reason? The
secret
way we
ingredient
thumbing through
was
that
with
shit.
and a single anchovy.
Keep you
Now, this is
reselling
all
Prime at
sounding
Walmart
pretty
off the
fishy.
clock.
Sorry, but rest assured that these will not make
They be
your
flipping
burger
that shit
taste
too.
like seafood.
$300 a
We're gonna
sip.
grind these into a fine dust,
Everybody
and
take
all
a sip
we're
out the
gonna
same
get
bottle.
from
Oh, you ain't
flavor-wise
getting no
is
new
the
bottle.
glutamate
That one
content.
still got Prime in
Use
it.
a spice grinder like this one to completely powderize these ingredients so they make
Bro got a snow globe?
dust for later on. Now onto the burger patty. Umami refers to the unctuousness and savoriness of a dish, so it only makes sense that we'd use some fatty, flavorful cuts of beef. So we're going to cut equal parts beef, short rib, and chuck steak into 1-inch cubes that we're
So
going
you
to
made a
place
better
in the
one?
freezer for about 15 minutes along with the blade of a food
Bro, how you gonna
processor.
sit there and say you
Get
know more
everything
about
nice
Mr.
and
Krabs?
cold. Pulse in your food
More than
processor
Mr. Krabs
until
about
you
some
achieve
Krabby Patties,
nice,
bro.
pebbly ground beef. Make sure not to over-process your beef or you're going to end
Oh,
up
wow,
with
Dev
soft
on
balls
fire
instead of
after
burgers.
this.
Back on
W
umami
support.
duty, it's time to
Yeah, bro,
address
y'all the
tomatoes.
realists.
We're going to oven dry
Y'all
our
the
tomatoes
realists. This is
in
just a
low
fact.
oven on a non-stick surface like a silk pat. Drizzle with a little bit of olive oil. Sprinkle
Man,
with a little bit of
alright.
kosher salt.
I was
and
going to do a
place
short
in
stream.
200
Now I'm
degree
locked
Fahrenheit
up this
oven for
motherfucker.
about
Now I'm
1 hour
locked the
before they
fuck
come
in.
out. Wrinkly little prunes like these guys. Next, to up the
Putting the
glutamate
tomatoes in
content
the
of our
oven?
ketchup,
I'm
we're going to
like,
make
bro,
a
you can
puree
put
of
the shit on the
sun-dried
burger. Let me get the
tomatoes, add a
burger,
little
bro.
bit of olive oil if they're not smooth enough, and combine this with a bit of good old-fashioned ketchup. This is going to add a few additional megatons to our taste explosion. Each one of these steps is optional.
but this should
one is
probably taste
especially optional if you'd like to
life-changing.
additionally amplify
Every
the
burger
mustard.
just
And
probably
if you
tastes
like the taste of
obsolete
the
after this.
miso, combine the two. Last but certainly not least,
What we
is the
need for a
cheese.
24?
We're gonna make Parmesan cheese
Look at that right
crisps
now.
by baking grated Parmesan at 350 for about 15
Right,
minutes.
42
Season and sear the
for a
patties as usual. Make sure you
24?
remove the burger from the heat before adding your spice powder, unless you want to set off every smoke alarm in your zip code. We're going to assemble
You get to
our burger
to
properly this
100?
time,
We get to
starting
100, I'll do
followed by
24.
some caramelized
That's it. Because
onions,
I'm
some of our
24 is
oven-dried
fucking
tomatoes,
suffrage.
a bit of our miso
On that
mustard, a bit of
17
our
hour, bro,
sun-dried
I wasn't
tomato
even
ketchup,
speaking
some
English.
a Parmesan cheese crisp, and last, where it belongs,
How do you hear that? I
a
should get
iceberg
done.
lettuce. Top your burger and
I would be
slice
on
it
this
half in
motherfucker
its
till
cross-section and try to
7
contain
whatever
your
the
embarrassment
fuck.
over the
Nah,
fact that you
do-rag
ate the
removal?
patty, but celebrate the fact that this burger
Not
is a
that, not for,
flavor.
not just for
You
that.
guys know me, I don't clean my plate unless it's really, really good.
Told you I gotta hit
Especially because
partner,
these
I gotta-
things
I
go
gotta-
straight to my
shit gotta
thighs
be
before
ran
they
up.
blow
I look like a nice Andrew Tate. You look like Drew Tate.